Hey YouTube, it's Patrick with Mid 10 Outdoors. This video kind of come to my head a little bit ago, so I thought I'd throw it together and throw it out there. I was thinking about the progression of flashlights over the last few years. When I say the last few years, since I've been having to use them personally in scouting and stuff. But basically what I have is a representation over the last, say, 25 years almost, of how flashlights have progressed, if you think about it. Back when I was in scouting, I mean, basically you had the old 2D cell size flashlight with the flashlight bulb that you could see across camp. When I say across camp, I meant from one tent to another. This is a cheapo Ever-Ready, and that's basically what a lot of people have, is the cheapo Ever-Ready. The other one, back then that was real popular, was this bad boy. Make sure I get it in the frame. You can see that. That's your old military style flashlight. It had all the different colors, lenses. I used to have one of those. I want another one. They're cheap now. You can get them for like $6. I remember back then I paid $30 for the thing. The other thing were these bad boys here that I think everybody remembers. Talking about batteries, carried that in it. And I think this particular one actually, this particular one uses 4D size batteries. But there were other ones that used the big 6-volt, which see, I can't even put the thing back together anymore. Used the old 6-volt battery, which weighed a ton. I mean, that battery's probably a pound and a half, 2 pounds maybe. I'd have to weigh it to see. Then you had your progression in lanterns too. You got the old fluorescent lantern. That one's actually only about 2 years old, 2 or 3. Of course, since then they've gotten smaller ones that are. I used to have one that held 2 of these. Had fluorescent tubes in it that long that we use quite often. I still carry that one with me. And then you have your, this one's been giving me fits. I think batteries are about dead in it. But then you have your LED lanterns. This is a 2-panel deal. It has 2 panels to it that you can lift up and brighten up the whole area. Which inside of a tent is great. I think that one's about dead. So I carried it to summer camp this year. Then it started getting a little smaller. You had the old Brinkman. I guess you remember, a lot of you remember the old big Brinkman that police carried. Of course, you could buy those too. They had 4D size batteries in those. I considered those bear killers because you could walk up and hit a bear with all the weight behind it and kill them. And you remember your old Brinkman had the little single bulb in these things, and of course holds 2 AA's. This one's been converted to the LED with the push button. So it's still in use today. I actually use this one with this little attachment here, which is a fiber optic thing, and I can look into my gun barrels and make sure I'm getting them clean. Well, then about 4 years ago, when I was getting into camping again, I found this Coleman light. You see the light it puts off. It's not very much, but let me tell you something. When I first got it, I thought, man, that's bad. That's bad butt right there. Well, then you start getting into more of today's, like the Nebo, a little dirty, with adjustable, and then of course all your settings. You get the little Nebo that, oh, there it goes. With the little light, it's not very bright. This one I keep on my keychain, my everyday, my EDC is a little Tool Logic light. It's LED. Then you're something like a 4.7s, adjustable beams, strobe, SOS, and flasher. So I mean, the progression of flashlights, and this thing I got right when we first got back into camping, I thought was pretty cool. It was a little tripod light that Stanley put out. You could hold it as a regular flashlight or spring the button, set it down, and then you had a tripod light. You could angle the light everywhere you needed. So the progression of the battery operated flashlight has really come a long ways. Of course, you've got 4.7s. I can't remember all the names of them, but there's all those streamlines and all those tactical lights out there that really have improved the flashlight world. And so that's pretty much was kind of my idea, is how far along the flashlight has come, from the bricks that you used to tote around, and back then when you were camping, you tried to find the lightest thing, smallest thing possible. Of course, the other thing I don't have up there is a headlamp. I do have a couple of those, but they're fairly inexpensive ones too. They're just energizers with the white lights, floodlights, and the red light, which I really like the red light setting, because especially at night when my eyes get adjusted, I'm good and don't need all the bright light. So anyway, it was just a little something I thought about, how flashlights have progressed. One of these days I'll get the money up and buy one of the bigger 4.7s or the real bright ones. But for right now, this is what I've got. This is my nightstand light. This is pretty much my camping light that's with me. Most of the time I'm wearing my headlamp though, and then that's in my backup bag. That's with me every day. That's in my backup bag, or bug out bag, whatever you want to call it. And then if I do some serious camping, we take the LEDs and the fluorescents. So anyway, of course I've got a couple of propane lanterns, but I thought it was kind of interesting how the battery operated flashlight. Of course, this doesn't really represent all flashlights. It's just a good little sampling of flashlights and where they've gone and where they've been and where they are at today. So anyway, just thought about it in my head and I thought I'd put it out there. A little flashlight montage or whatever you want to call it. So anyway guys, be prepared.